and welcome back to my channel, Welshman Reviews. I'm Gareth, and today I'm going to be doing my review for Beetlejuice. So this is the sequel, the long-awaited sequel to the 1988 Tim Burton movie Beetlejuice. So it is directed by Tim Burton again. Writers are Alfred Gough, Miles Miller, and Seth Grahame-Smith. So pretty much the old cast do pretty much return, the main ones. There is three notable absentees. It is, so obviously Michael Keaton's back as Beetlejuice, Winona Ryder's back as Lydia, Catherine O'Hara is back as Delia Dietz. But we are missing, obviously, Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, who were in the first ones, who were kind of the main characters of the first one, really. And obviously we are missing I forgot his Jeffrey Jones as well, which if you go onto the news and stuff like that, he has been done for, you know, years on the registration list. It is as a sex predator or underage for underage kids and that. I'm not going to go into it on you. It ain't. If you want to read up about it, it is on Google and stuff like that. That is a problem which I'm going to talk into my dislikes about. I don't have much dislikes for this, but I have four notable ones for this, and he is one of them. Yes, well, when we get into my dislikes, we will talk about that. But this movie does take place, obviously, nearly 40 years later now from the original movie. Lydia is a kind of a haunted house thing because of her medium and her gifts. She can see the dead. She has a TV show. One of the new actors in it, Justin Theroux, plays Rory, her production manager and boyfriend at the time. It is. So they have their little TV show about that. But she keeps seeing Beetlejuice in things. So she gets freaked out with stuff like that. But unfortunately, the news comes from her stepmother, Delia, obviously, Catherine O'Hara, who is still an artist in this movie as well, that her father has passed away. So they go back to the town, which I can't remember what the town is called now off the top of my head, but they go back to where he was living and that. And for the funeral, they bring Jenna Ortega, who is Astrid, is Lydia's daughter. They're very estranged. Astrid doesn't believe in Lydia and about her believing in ghosts because her father and Lydia's ex passes away. He's dead, but she can't see him. And so she does do the argument with her. Oh, you can see all these dead people, but you can't see my dead father, your dead ex. It is. So they have a very strained relationship as well, similar to what Lydia and Delia had pretty much in the first movie. It is. There is a few more notable new characters as well. We have Willem Dafoe as Wolf Jackson. He is a he is a cop on the other side. He is, but in his original when he was alive, I should say, he was an actor who was notorious as a detective in a series of movies. It is. So he kind of plays that guy throughout the whole movie. It is. And he is one of the highlights of this movie. You have Monica Bellucci, who plays Dolores. She is, I'd like to say she's the main antagonist of this movie, but when we get into my dislikes again, she is another one that, yeah, it's in my dislikes. Not her particularly, but her story and how much she's utilised in this movie. And we also have Arthur Conti as Jeremy, a boy that Astra meets in town, who they kind of hit it off. They do. But I'll probably go into a little bit of spoilers when it comes to him later on. So I will put it up on the screen when I talk about him and spoilers. The thing. Oh, and Danny DeVito has a little cameo in the beginning of the movie as well. So yeah, pretty much the rest of the story is Dolores comes back and she's after Beetlejuice because when Beetlejuice was alive, they got together, but she wanted immortality like years and years and years ago. And I think I want to say Italian, to be honest. I think, is she Italian or is she French? Yeah, Italian. So it's pretty much, you have a little black and white scene in the past of Beetlejuice being a grave robber, meeting her, all in, like Beetlejuice talks about, all in Italian. Then you get subtitles up on the screen, which is pretty interesting to have direction for the movie. It is, and she wants immortality, uses him to try and get it, but when she poisons him, he kills her. So she comes back and she wants her revenge on Beetlejuice. So you have this running thing and with, unfortunately, Astra makes it into the afterlife. Lydia makes a deal with Beetlejuice to go over to that side to get her back, and then all things, a little, the adventure then kind of starts, but there to the climax, until we get to the climax of the movie. So overall, I did enjoy this movie. It was very nostalgic for the most part. Michael Keaton's brilliant. Lydia's brilliant. Winona Ryder's brilliant. All the actors, Catherine O'Hara as well, who for me was the star of the show. She really was brilliant in this one. She is a brilliant actress. I love her in most of the things, pretty much all the things she does. But yeah, out of the new characters, Willem Dafoe was kind of my favourite for that. I thought his eccentric and the way he acts like an old detective and that, and he had an assistant that kind of helps him out a little bit when he feels down. Like, he has a thing where he's saying stuff in a mirror and he doesn't believe what he's saying, and she comes in and reassures him and that. So yeah, I find that very good. And he has his own squad of police officers in the afterlife as well that help him out. But overall, yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really good. Don't get me wrong, nowhere as a patch on the first movie. I think the first one is a standout movie compared to this one. But this does do a good job on the sequel. It is, and how, yeah, like I said, nostalgia does thing, and I do love that he kind of keeps it very practical, the effects. If it's CGI in this, it's very minimum. Obviously, with the sandworm as well, it looks like the effects from the '88 movie as well. They haven't updated it to today's CGI, which I think kind of would have ruined the feel of the movie, to be honest, by updating that that effects it is. So I'm happy it looks like it does back in the '88. We'll go into my dislikes now. On one, like I said, with the Jeffrey Jones, they do show a bit of him in this movie, quite a lot, to be honest. Not in person, obviously, but when he has his funeral, his picture is up quite a lot in the movie. His character is in the afterlife, because in the movie they talk about his death when Catherine O'Hara's character's talking about his death and how he died. He was in a plane crash, but he said, "Oh, he died on a plane crash." Oh, no. He survived the plane crash. He was in the water, and it's like, "Oh, he drowned." And he's like, "No, he didn't drown. He was on a piece of the plane and all that, and then he got eaten by a shark." So his character is pretty much eaten all from here. So no head or kind of the upper body part here is missing, and blood squirting, which is pretty funny, to be honest. But you see him throughout the movie as well. I don't know who voices him. I don't, but I know it's not him. But it is a bit weird having a guy who is a convicted paedophile, really. May as well just say it as it is. Being in this movie quite a lot, it is. And yeah, I'm not saying it was uncomfortable, but it just wasn't needed, to be honest. He could have just had his funeral and that's it. It's over. But I think they kept him on because it does give Delia something to do in the movie, because she's very sad throughout the movie and all that, and she's doing things and all that, and then she wants to commune with him on the afterlife and that. So they do bring her, but I personally didn't think he should have been showing that much in this movie. Personal opinion, really. The other one I said as well is the Monica Bellucci character. She's supposed to be the main antagonist. She's plastered all over the trailers, but unfortunately, she is really hardly in this movie. She her character pretty much sucks the souls out of the dead. So if you're dead, if she sucks the soul, you're fully dead. You're never coming back. It ain't. So her character's again and trying to chase down Beetlejuice, and she's in a few scenes where she's just sucking the souls out of dead people, and then you pretty much just see her at the end, and her end is very flat and just happens like that. It is. The end is pretty much like Beetlejuice trying to marry Lydia again, because they done a contract earlier in the movie, earlier in the movie for because Lydia wanted to get Astrid from the afterlife. She made a deal with Beetlejuice to go over there to get her back. So that's another one that was a kind of a pain. I did say four, didn't I? Oh yeah, the third one is the father. So the father's dead. Astrid's father's dead, and then you find him in the afterlife, or he finds Astrid in the afterlife. And I was expecting a very, very emotional scene of them reuniting and that, and you just don't get it. It's kind of played off as a joke more than anything, just because of the way he looks. Because he died in the Amazon. His character in the afterlife is being eaten by piranhas. So he's like got all the makeup on and that, and some flesh coming off, and piranhas all over his body. But it's kind of more played off as a laugh, unfortunately. And yeah, I was a bit disappointed with that. I was expecting a big emotional scene between him, Astrid, and Lydia as well, and to kind of explain why they don't see him. But you don't really get that explanation in this movie. And we'll dive into the spoiler part now. So spoiler. We're on to the Arthur Conti character now, Arthur. So yeah, after Astrid kind of takes a ride, you see it in the trailer, on the bike, and Ash crashes into his garden and meets him and that. And then she comes back the next day to have a chat with him and get to know him a little bit better. And then she spends Halloween night at his place. It is. But things don't seem too real and that. And you find out he's actually dead. So he killed his parents, who were in the house as well, because you find out later on this is how Lydia finds out that where she dropped him off, she's talking to the real estate agent from the first movie. Her daughter is now a real estate agent in this thing. She talks about it. She talks about how she can't sell that house, and when Lydia finds out, she tries to save Astrid. But Jeremy uses Astrid to get to the afterlife with the Book of the Dead. She says an incantation. So when they go off the thing, they swap their souls. So he becomes alive and she becomes dead. So that's why Lydia goes to the afterlife to try and save Astrid. And then Beetlejuice kind of helps out and kind of kills Jeremy off like that as well. So your two kind of antagonists of the movie are not really prominent in this movie at all, really. They could have easily just added them together, maybe, and had her as the main antagonist, her using Jeremy to try and get the Beetlejuice, but using Lydia's family, Lydia and Astrid, to try and lure him into a trap and all that. But yeah, a little bit disappointed with that, I was. But yeah, other than that, them 4 points, yeah, are kind of a letdown for the movie. But it still doesn't take away from the movie. I still enjoyed it. Love the music. Danny Elfman, his music is made for these type of movies. I love his soundtracks and the music he's done in the past. He's done quite a few things for Tim Burton. Obviously, he did the Batman 89 soundtrack, and I think Batman Returns as well. And he's done other things for Tim Burton as well. So brilliant there. Like I said, I love the practical effects. I did I thought that was brilliant as well. Music, direction, Tim Burton's a brilliant director. Love his work and makes things very spooky. He excels on movies like this. He does. But yeah, everything else in the movie I really enjoyed. It was just them 4 parts of the movie that really could have just been a lot better, in my opinion. But overall, I give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. Definitely can't wait for the Steelbook to come out because Avi's got a nice glow-in-the-dark one coming. Obviously not the Steelbook, but the slipcover that goes over it is a nice glow-in-the-dark. And yeah, looking forward to watching this movie again. So yeah, solid 7 out of 10. And I do recommend, if you like the first one, I think you'll like this one as well. It is. So that's my review for Beetlejuice. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think of the Beetlejuice movie. I know a few people are not particularly a fan of the first movie. It ain't that. It's understandable. It is a quirky movie. It's not for everyone's taste, as in every movie, really. You either like it or you don't. It is. But tell me what you thought of the first Beetlejuice and this one. If you watch them both, do you think they complement each other? Do you think they're very good together? And if you'd like to see more videos, I guess, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you next time.